of the Yetzer Hara, arguments of the evil inclination, attempts to persuade a man to forsake righteousness. And after the argument is stated, the author of Cletus Holocaust demonstrates the fallacy of the argument. He tells you how to reply to the Yetzer Hara. That's something that we have to do. Our sages commanded us in the Mishnah, Masha Toshi Rapikea. You have to know what to answer to Rapikeas. And as my Rebbe, the thing Allah said, which Rapikeas is the name? He's this Rapikeas. You have to know what to answer to the Yetzer Hara. Not a question of arguing with others. And the Cletus Holocaust himself explained in the purpose that you have Hamaisa, that it's not enough merely to ignore him, because if you hear his argument and you don't answer him, it remains in you. And therefore, it's important to refute him only. You have to know how. That's it, know what to say in reply to the Yetzer Hara. The Yetzer Hara, good applications. That's the power that's within us that tests us. Its purpose in the world is to test us. And therefore, we're in this world to answer. Why are we in this world? In order that we should be able to answer the Yetzer Hara. That's the purpose of being in the world. So when you're bothered by Yetzer Hara, once somebody told me he's bothered by the Yetzer Hara. So, answer is, that's what we're here for. We're here to be bothered by it. Accident, it's not just a misfortune. We're in this world to be tempted, and our job is to be opposing. That's why we're here. And that's our success in life. Also, so, the sages says, the Yetzer Hara. That's the good thing about this world. Because here we can accomplish something. The next world is no Yetzer Hara. Doesn't pay to be there. Doesn't pay to be in the next world. This is the world that pays to be in. So here we can accomplish. It's like the movie man. He's right now in Florida, and he's lying on a chair in the sun. So he's thinking, oh, he's not drinking me in a telly. Because they wanted to be there. Now that they're back in New York in my store, every second I'll be lifting any shekel. This is what I want to do. The boy has to hold him with boys. Lay in the chair. You know where it's good to be. That's the fun. I'm just back in New York. And therefore, when we'll be in the next world, I will be reclining in the sun, the most one. It'll be much better than anything you can imagine. But even then, we'll look back longingly, we'll envy those people who are still here and still making the big profits. And how do you make it? By fighting the Yetzer Hara. But you have to know how to fight. And that's why you have to learn. Zeda means Zeda. Zeda means Kinei, Chokmo, Kinei, they learn and acquire knowledge to know what to answer the Yetzer Hara. Now, after this, goes through a number of things. Argument attacking the foundations of the Emunah. Foundations that every Jew has to have in order to begin doing his shit. And the favorite of other problems of the reply. After pages and pages of this, it comes up with a new attack by the Yetzer Hara. And this is the attack on the belief in Hashorah HaNefesh, and the belief that the Neshama, or the soul, exists after the body dies. Now to us, it seems out of place. We should have been way back. among the first things. It seems to us, once a man has accepted all the principles of the Emunah, he feels the presence of the Creator. He has learned to feel the presence of the Boile, and he is convinced that our forefathers received the Torah from Har Sinai, that everything, all of us, sudden after we finish with all these big things, now we think we're finished already, he comes up with something new, and he says, after everything, still the Yetzer Hara is going to attempt to make you disbelieve in Elam Hakel. So we see from this that even after a man has convinced himself, that's not easy, he's worked, but after he has labored and he has gained a clarity of perception in all the Yesodis for Emunah, all the other foundations which make a Jew, he still is not safe against attacks on his belief they will happen. And we must understand why that is. Again, what's the question? Why is it after a Jew has been convinced of so many important principles of the faith that there is still a possibility he might be weak in his belief in Olam Haba, that the soul lives on after death? One thing we see immediately, and that's one of the answers to this question, that this is such an important principle. It is of such weightiness that we believe in Olam Haba. It makes such a big difference in our career as Jews that the Yetzer Hara puts into it all that he has to oppose it and to cause us to be weak in this one. I once went to visit a Jew who was observing Shiva. His father passed away. This Jew had always been an observant of the Orthodox. And he wasn't an uneducated man. He had already gone through college, and he was a teacher of biology. In other words, he'd been through the mill. He's a biologist. An Orthodox man. When I came to him and sat down, he burst into tears because his poor father had stopped existing. More or less, that's how he expressed it. And he says he's very weak in the feeling of Elam Hakel. Now he was faced for the first time with the acid test. And you can write on the dotted line, Ani Ma'amin B'Emunah Shleima, and he can say it constantly. But when he's actually faced with the fact of death, then it hits him between the eyes. He's no longer here. We put him into the ground. That's the end. And now his Emunah, it shows how naked and how weak it is. But why is it such a problem? It's a problem for other reasons. But the most important reason is the mysterious reason. There's a mystery why it's so difficult. That mystery is a mysterious force within us. It's a force which comes to tempt us. And that force, the Yetzer Hara, where does it exert most of its efforts? On what's most important. So here's a Jew who wouldn't get off of his bed in the morning until he pours water on his fingers, Nagelrots, and the Jewish eye. He wouldn't move. He's nailed to his bed. He keeps the Shulchan Aruch from beginning to end. He's loyal to everything. And all of a sudden, when he's faced with the fact of death, he sees that he's lacking one of the most important secrets of his faith. And that because the Yetzer Hara knows it's so important, we'll talk about that. He knows it's all important. And that's why he puts all that he has into his efforts to make it weak enough. And now we'll study and see why this is, as I said, all important. to believe that Olam Haba is all important. We'll open up to the Silas Yeshori, that's our great textbook of righteousness, and he begins. Yesod HaChasidus, what is the foundation of piety? Yeshoresh Ho'avodah Atzmimo, and what is the root from which grows forth the perfect service of HaKadosh Baruch Hu? What is it? What's the foundation of that? 9:45. Sheyis Boreil, Vis Ameis, Eitzel Ho'odom, Achoivoso V'olam. It is that it must become clarified and it must become convincing what is a man's purpose in the world. If you don't make this clear, and if you're not convinced what is the purpose in the world, then you have no foundation. See, sometimes you shouldn't have, but a Jew who was pious, who was very observant, something happened and he threw everything away. Did it ever happen? It has happened. Unfortunately. How could it happen? You have to come to the big surprise. It's like a building. A man was in a hurry to erect the building, so he purchased a lot, and he immediately started putting up a house. He didn't bother to dig first foundation, to pour in concrete, to put in heavy stones and rocks, and then when everything is ready to finish, he can do it. He was in a hurry. He began putting up the building, like he did in Tennessee some years ago. He wants to make money quick, so the developers put up houses with little foundation, no foundation, and after a couple of years, the people saw their doors didn't close. Because a square door has to fit into a square doorway. So when the house begins to settle, the doorways became like not like this, but like this. You look at it, the windows didn't close. Got to call in carpenters, and it was expensive redoing doorways and windows. And sometimes a house can collapse entirely. It's settled. And therefore, the first thing is to build the foundation. When they were building the downstate medical school, the dormitory, it took at least a year. They were digging down and down, stories underground. I watched it. But waiting for the building to come out. It didn't hurry. They were building down and pouring in pounds and pounds and pounds of concrete. And finally, when they had built the foundation up to the street, there was a gas station that looked like a building. Started rising. The trouble is, very many Jews have built an edifice of Yahadus, of the Emunah, of Yiddishkeit, of observance, without a foundation. And that's the reason that sometimes it collapses entirely. And even when it doesn't collapse, even when it continues to exist, but many times it's crooked, the doors and windows don't close, and you have a caricature. That's why you walk into a synagogue sometimes, not all, and you see people come in with towels and pillows, and 25 minutes later they walk out. From beginning to end. What happened here? In 25 minutes. Most likely he skipped, most likely he started, and he reached early. And he walked out after, what he said, show us what else? No, he did the whole thing with everything. With everything! I think another one he said, do it. And he said, and when he got through, he said, the Pasha Hakeda, everything. And after he said, any moment, you get everything in. That's a caricature. That's a tragedy. And I'm afraid you got to have a little conversation too.